they would once a month come up and fill up
30 gallons.
30-gallon
believe it.
jugs and take it back because she wouldn't drink Reno
Oh,
water.
I won't drink Elko water.
I
Well,
don't
I
blame
will if you put a slice of lemon in it to disguise the taste.
Yeah.
But even though I kind of sort of live in Elko, I'm in my own little
Yeah.
island of county,
Yeah.
and I have my own well,
Oh,
so I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm not hooked up to city water, so.
so that's good.
I tease Antonio all the time. I said, I can't drink your damn water.
And the worst is the coffee mugs. They're, when you go to the coffee mug,
Oh, really?
we go there, I mean, you know, maybe a couple times a year or something, but oof,
Uh,
they have the
Yeah.
worst water.
Well, and once you notice it, it's yeah,
Huh.
yeah. But anyway, okay, are we just about ready? You're probably ready.
You're good. You're good.
You're not recording, are you?
I am recording.
Oh,
Oh,
but I
you
have to
are.
make my announcement.
That's
thing.
okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that it's January 25th, 2024, and we're at the Bottari Ranch outside of Lamoille, Nevada, and we're gonna interview EllaMay Bottari, who's been a legend in Elko County for a long time. You are a legend.
Yeah.
So we'll just get the easy stuff out of the way first, and just tell us a little bit about your past life, or how you came here, how you met your husband, or were you born here?
No.
Or
No,
all
no.
that basic stuff, we want that first.
Okay. I was born in Edgewater, Denver, which is just a suburb of Denver at that time. And that's been a long time ago. Anyhow, and then my mother brought my sister and my brother to California because my real father was not a very nice man. Anyhow, she grabbed us kids and headed for California, and her mother was there. And so I was raised in my young life in Pittsburgh, California, and then we went to Oregon for probably 18 months, and the war started. And my dad, my stepdad, he was my dad, whether he was stepdad or not, but anyhow, he was in the Naval Reserve, and he right away just dropped everything, and he knew he was going to pass his physical, but he didn't. And so he had injured an eye playing with our dog. And so anyhow, we stayed in the area, and he worked at the shipyards for a while, and then he ended up working at the steel mill in Niles, California. And I was raised then until I graduated high school at Centerville High. It was a township made up of about seven little towns.
And what kind of an area, what part of California is
The
this?
Bay Area.
Right in the Bay Area,
Yes,
okay.
yeah. And we were 15 miles between Hayward, California, and San Jose, California.
Okay.
And San Jose was our go-to place to find work.
Okay.
So when I got out of high school, I was 17 because of when my birthday is.
Mhm.
And so I did find a job at J.C. Penney's when I went over there. Well, then it just worked on to where my girlfriend that lived by me there, right above us, she came from Winnemucca to Irvington, but her family was here. Juliana was a cousin. Juliana Murphy was a cousin. Caesar, her dad, was a uncle, and Armand and Jean Bazzetti and the Baronis
Oh, wow.
were relatives.
Mm.
And so after we both worked at the telephone office in San Jose, and it was the largest manually operated office in the world. We had 500 of us. When they went dial, there was 500 of us that were out of work.
Wow.
And so anyhow, Evelyn had gotten married, and she and her husband were getting a divorce. And so she came up here and to wait out a year's time for California divorces. And so, and I kind of got in a wild bunch down there. And my mother got to worrying about me and all that sort of stuff. So she called Evelyn and she said, is there a chance that there's a job for her up there? So they called me and said, I had a suitcase, what was on my back, and then I came and I never left since.
Had a girl.
I've been here 74 years in November 22nd, 1923. No, it's 2023. I still get back in the 19s. I just can't believe it's 2024.
I know, really.
2024.
Wow.
But anyhow, when I came up, I couldn't get on at the telephone office right away. So anyhow, I just took odd jobs. I worked at J.C. Penney's. I worked at the drugstore on the corner.
DuPont's?
No,
Wouldn't have been DuPont then.
no, right on the 5th in Idaho. The one they tore down,
Well, it was DuPont,
was it?
but I don't know what it was called then. I don't know that it was DuPont
I
then.
can't
but that's-
remember. And I
yeah,
worked there in
Fifth
the
Idaho.
little cafeteria, like, and fixed sandwiches and soup and stuff like that. But anyhow, when I wasn't working, I came out and cooked for Baroni's, which was Armando Bazzetti's father and brothers. So Armando's husband liked stuffed bell peppers. And so I had invited them up to eat, and they called and said, we can't come, we have company. And I said, I had all this dinner. And I said, how many are there? She said, 3. I said, good, I'll put a meatloaf in the middle of it, and we'll make it. And that's what happened, and that's when I met my husband, because Armando was a really good friend of John Bottari's, Betty, and his wife Betty, and Dorio, my husband to be. But anyhow, when all sat down at the table, there was one seat left, and it was by DeWilliam. So they said, well, if you're going to take her out, you better get that Jeep fixed. The window's broken. So anyhow, he had a old-time Jeep, and he just was so bashful, and stuff. And anyhow, that's how we met. Next thing you know, we had a party up in Lemoyle. I came in November the 22nd in 1949, and we had I can't remember if it was I think it was a New Year's party or rather. Anyhow, we were there, and my godmother was Kitty Good that lived above here, and they wanted to come, but they didn't have the Jeep or the 4-wheel drive to get them around in, so we came down and got them, and then we brought them back, and going up the hill out of the ranch up here, he says, everybody told me he was bashful, but he wasn't bashful. He said, are you cold? I said, no. He says, I am, come here. And so that was the beginning, and we got married in June that year and had a bunch of kids. And so I never wanted to go back to California. I just liked it right here.
Yep. I absolutely believe you. I absolutely
Yep.
know what you're saying.
Yep. Yep.
So start with the kids then. Tell us which kids you had when.
Well, we had Peggy in 51. We got married in 50. We had Peggy in 51, Pete in 52, Paul in 53. 3 kids in 27 months. So then the next thing you know, we slowed down a little bit. And I had Perry in 57, and then we had him in 61. So, and then that was it. I didn't have any more So,
Got your girl
I
at the
did.
very end.
Yes, well, I got Peggy first.
Oh, that's
and then
true,
I
yeah,
had the three
yeah.
boys, and I didn't think I could have another girl, and I was sure happy when she was. So, and I wouldn't let her go to kindergarten. I said I'm going to keep her home as long as I can. So I did.
Were any of you born on the ranch?
No, they were all born at the hospital. So I could say in the old hospital, I had one here and one there, and I had the boys, Pete and Paul, in the same room, but a year, not quite a year later, because it was 11 and a half months between Pete and Paul. So anyhow, and I've been here ever since.
Yeah.
This ranch, though, didn't have the electricity and the running water and any of that.
Yeah.
She came from,
So was he on this ranch when you married him
Yes,
already?
yep. We used the tin tub, you know, the old,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Number 2 wash tub?
right. Well, finally, when I was so big with Pete, I gained 204, I can't remember now, for 216 pounds I weighed with Pete.
Wow.
And I couldn't fit in the little round one anymore, so DeWitt bought me the longer one. And I could bathe in that one, so, but we didn't have running water. My dad came up. It was kind of a year like this because Dad had just graded the road with a tie, you know, and smoothed it out. And my folks were from the city, so they seen that nice smooth road. And they got stuck at the road end, and they had to walk all the way to the house.
Oh, wow.
There were no cell phones. There were, you know, no way in the world for them to, I mean, people were far apart. I mean,
Sure.
they were out doing their work and stuff. Anyhow, Dad, when Mom and Dad got here, they were pretty well worn out. But anyway, at that time, he figured out a way to give me some water in the house. He got me well, not right then, because I had to get power. The power didn't come in until December. We got, let's see, December. And then we got the power so that we could get electric. He got a little tiny pump and motor and put water so I could turn it on in the house. It was
Yeah.
cold, but I could bucket it from there to the stove.
Right. So did you have commercial power or did you have a generator?
No, we didn't have anything but till we got the commercial power.
So it was commercial power
Yeah.
first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time they worked it off to when you, like, somehow you paid, after 6 years, the line belonged to the power company.
Yeah.
So, and I can't remember the amounts.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it was a little different than it was in the city, I'll tell you.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we had 4 rooms and a path, and we got along fine. We had 1 bedroom, a front room, a kitchen, and another bedroom. So we had the girls in the front room on a day bed. We had the boys in bunk beds in the bedroom, and we had our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, at one time, I had a crib right here and a crib right over here for the boys. But we made it. That's the main
That's
thing.
right. That's what you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we made it.
Yeah. That's,
Yep. I sure had a lot to learn, I'll tell you.
yeah. It's an adventure, isn't it?
It really is.
You're probably like I was. I married Raymond at 18, and I also came from California.
Did you?
And I always tell people that he finished raising me because it was all new, and I was still kind of sort of just a kid,
Yeah,
and so that was my new adventure
yep.
and everything to learn. Everything he taught the kids, I had to learn too.
Well, that's true. I
Yeah.
had a lot of lessons, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time that after we first got married, we were working cattle. And going over to the other ranch that we had, we leased the McKinney Ranch for a long time. But anyhow, I seen this cute calf and I said, oh, what a cute calf. he said, that's not a calf, that's a heifer. So that afternoon, we were working cattle down at the bottom here, and he said, don't let that calf go by. And I let it go by, and he said, I told you not to let the calf go by. I said, it was a heifer, it wasn't a calf. So he got it back.
We've all had those experiences
man.
too, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh, golly.
Yeah. But anyhow, it's been quite an adventure, and I wouldn't give it up for anything.
No, it's a great life, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
a wonderful place to raise kids.
Oh, for sure.
You know, they live with life and death every day of the world. You know, when they
Mhm.
on a ranch, you just take it in stride.
Right.
You know,
Learn how to do things,
that's right.
figure things out
Yeah.
on your own
Yeah,
or amongst each other.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
You bet your life.
Yeah.
So it was a perfect place to raise kids.
Mhm.
This creek sometimes that comes by here has been up to the door. And
Really?
stuff, it gets
Wow.
an oil creek, you know, so it gets really high. And boy, when we were little, she said, do not get by that creek, you know, and stuff. I don't know how she did it
Oh,
because
wow, that's
it would've-
scary, yeah.
I scared the heck out of them, I'll tell you.
I bet. You Don,
I
you-
threatened them.
I understand,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you have
Yeah.
to.
And you know, it's a miracle we've never lost one kid in that creek.
Mm.
And it gets fierce to where a horse can't afford it.
Wow, I
Yeah.
believe you,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So did you do a lot of the riding and stuff, or with all those little kids, it's kind of hard to?
Yeah, I had to be around the house mostly.
Yeah,
And I really envied anybody who was born on a ranch and got to learn from the beginning,
yeah.
because it's very
Which
hard.
is which is what our kids did.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. That's just exactly
While we were
right.
holding down the fort.
Yep. Well, I did work in the hayfields off and
Mhm.
on, and I'll tell you, a lot of people envy like your cars, your diamonds, and this and that. I used to envy Florence Solage. She had a self-propelled baler.
Oh my
I-
gosh! Wow.
I had a McCormick baler and a Farmall tractor.
Hmm.
And that McCormick baler was from here to Elko Brown.
Yeah.
It was so darn long, honestly. And I had the Farmall tractor. Well, over at McKinney Ranch, there's a lot of little loops in the field, in the willows and stuff. And so once you get in there with a baler that long, next thing you know, I'd holler, I got it hooked up on the wheel. I'd try, and the darn thing would get hooked up on the wheel. And they'd see me flashing my arms and come and rescue me. And I thought, oh, if I just had Florence's baler.
Oh wow.
But I made it.
Yeah, you did.
And then I would get the meal started and all, and this one here, and Peggy for a while when she was home would do the getting the meal and stuff. She was 9 years old, and she'd take over and get the meal ready. We'd come home, and I'd help get the on the table and stuff. Next thing you know, we were back to working.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just been an awful good life, I tell you.
Yeah. It's hard but good. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just-
It's hard.
and you
but
work as a team.
Yeah,
Everybody works as a team.
has to, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember one time though, after we were first married, that Dad was the baby. There was only two of them, and I was a baby of 6.
Mm.
So I was spoiled rotten. And so anyhow, he had made me angry this one day, and I just opened up the cupboard door and I started throwing dishes at him. Never hitting him, but I sure crashed him around his feet. And he jumped across that pile of glass, turned me over his knee, and said, if you're gonna act like a kid, you're gonna get treated like a kid. So I had to spank him.
Wow.
But it was a little hard for lots of years because he was set in his ways and I was spoiled to where I thought I ought to be able to have some say, but such is life.
Yeah, it is.
We had lots of bumps, but we had a lot of making up too, so.
So was he older than you?
He's 6 years older.
6 years, well, that's
Yeah.
not too bad.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
But enough to get, especially for an Italian, to be set and
oh yeah,
pretty well set in their ways. You know, I'm half Italian.
are ya?
Yeah, my dad was full Italian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then married a Basco, so you can only imagine what my kids are like.
I know a lot of them, that they're
Yeah.
nice kids.
Yeah, they're pretty good kids,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. Well, I'm Dutch, French, Scotch, Irish, England, and English, and I always was told I was Indian, but in our genealogy stuff that we've done, we can't find any Indian blood.
You can't, huh?
There's 7% that they didn't say what it was. And it might be in that, but my mother told us always that we were part Cherokee Indian, but we never were contacted ever.
I'll be
And
darned.
and so,
Have you ever done the DNA test that they do now, where you take a swab and then send it in and then they tell you what you are?
yeah, I've done that.
Have
yeah.
you?
Uh-huh. We did it with Amazon, no what,
No, it's
Ancestry.
Ancestry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Harry did it with Ancestry and 23andMe or something.
Mm.
And what was yours?
ancestry.
Ancestry.
They all came back different.
Different.
Really?
Yeah, all of them. All of them.
That
And
tells
none of
you
them
something
found
about
Indian,
the
huh?
accuracy, right?
So I don't know.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
It is interesting.
But none of them found Indian, regardless of.
No,
Oh.
no. But anyways, such is life. We are what we are.
That's right.
No way you can change it.
So, so did you know how to cook and everything before you started off
Well,
on
I'll
this
tell you
venture?
this. I could cook a little, but the first pie that I made, my mother was gone, and Dad, they were gone, and I invited my aunt and cousin down. They lived upstairs from where we did, for a meal. And I made fried chicken and mashed potatoes and gravy and vegetables. I can't remember what vegetable we had, but I also made an apple pie. Now I had seen my mother put a pan of water under custard and bread pudding and stuff. So I politely put a pan of water under my pie. The top was beautiful, and the apples tasted good, but the bottom was gooey.
This
Yeah.
gooey dough?
It was plum dough, that's for sure. But anyhow, when I came up here, Babbo Baroni, Armando Bazzetti's dad, he would watch me cook, and I learned a lot from him.
Mm.
Anyhow, he said to me one time, I know why let me think how he used to say it. I know, you know Sully one side, but Sully one side. So I never could get enough salt in it,
Oh.
because I would only salt one side.
Oh, okay.
And then when I made bread, you had to really make bread, and you didn't leave it too moist, and you didn't have it too stiff, or you got Bob was giving you a bad time. Another thing, he made coffee. I could never make coffee, and he would make coffee so strong that I would take about a third of a cup of coffee and fill it up with water. I told him, you make it so strong you float a battleship. And he used to tell me good coffee. Yeah, God love him. He was a good
gosh.
guy.
So you've mentioned some of your neighbors here early on. And it's just such a small community, and they all ended up being your friends and neighbors and
Yeah.
stuff. And who are some of the other older?
Marion and Lloyd Bloom lived right next door. You know, this next field over and up that
Oh,
way.
okay,
Emmy Ballinger and her family lived down below us here at the
okay.
Rabbit Creek Ranch. My godmother, Kitty Good, and her husband Joe and son Tim lived up above us. The Salickis laid, were over on this side of us. We were just all all,
So were all the ranches smaller then, or, I mean, because when you say right over here behind us or whatever, that could have been 5 miles
yeah.
back, you
No,
know?
they're probably a couple miles to Salinas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just Ballinger's is down 3 or 4 miles.
Okay.
Lloyd's is right next door. Our fence across the creek is a communal fence.
Okay.
We're about 5 points, almost 6 miles from Memorial when you go around the road.
Okay.
As the crow flies, you're only 2 miles, but you all, it was a community.
Right.
Yeah, it was a very close-knit community. And when I moved here, I didn't think people lived like this before, you know, for a long time. But boy, I was sure lucky to be able to move to this community because people looked after each other. You know, if you had, and we had the crank telephone. We didn't have one. We did later, but we didn't have at the time. But you'd ring your, you know, you had to ring so many rings for F and so many rings for R, and if it rang in the night, everybody grabbed the phone to see what it was because it had to be something serious. And you just, if somebody needed help, everybody took off and went. So in a way it was a blessing, in another way it was not. I remember Alfred called Armanda and I one day, we were talking, and he got on the phone and he said, this is Alfred Slicky, and he said, hey ladies, I need the phone. And he says, I got a dead guy over here. And I said, Alfred, all you gotta say is I need the phone. No, I have got a dead guy over here. And so we hung up so he could use the phone.
And then they were,
No, we didn't. That was pretty serious. So. But anyhow, it was. And Jeannie Baroni is Puccinelli now,
Oh,
very
yeah.
dear friend and her
Oh,
godmother. Just Armanda and Jean. I don't know, just Marilyn and Jess, just dear friends, all of them. Yeah. Grace and Frank Palacio.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. It just, I just can't. Florence and Joe Zolich, God bless them. They were great people.
Well, just from the little bit you've told so far, now I know why you recognized all those people and all
Yeah.
those ladies in that
Well, we had
mystery
that
photo.
one that was behind Sylvia Martin, and none of us can figure that out. Jeannie and Butch, Jean Bazzetti. Joanne, I couldn't remember what, and we just couldn't figure out that one person that was behind Sylvia. And then we had a question about the one that we called Florence, because she appears to be taller, but she has a dress on that I don't think she would ever have worn because of the circles when it was going around. So there could be a chance that she was, I can't say it now, Barnes.
Fern?
Fern, thank you. Yeah, Fern Barnes. But she doesn't look like Fern Barnes to me either, so. But anyhow,
Yeah.
I knew right off when I saw
Sylvia,
Sylvia, but Martha Peters. Martha was and then of course there was Barbara Litchen, and they put Lipton in the paper, but it's Litchen, Lichten.
Well, you know how it is on the phone, you can't always hear what
That's
people are
right.
saying.
And then my voice is so gravelly, you know, so,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Well, we fixed it in the computer at work, so
Oh, good.
it's at least in the official
Oh, good,
thing now. We can't do anything about the paper, but
yeah,
so we fixed it.
yeah, that's good,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So-
anyhow, we had lots, Catherine Matthijs, Edna